betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. What is up? Welcome into another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault with you live on YouTube and Twitter. Sports Grid Replay. How are you? If you guys are watching live, join our Discord channel so you can watch the show on replay and then talk to everybody else while the show is going on. You can see the show twice. bvbshow.com. Like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Welcome, Sharapan, to a Tuesday. And, well, we'll debate this. Is it or is it not the start of the NBA playoffs today? How are you?
Good. Good to see you. Good to see the chat. Good to see everybody here. Fighting it again. We'll just get through it.
Scale of 1 to 10, where are you? I always ask Madeline, where are you? 0 to 10, 10 being the best you've ever felt.
6.5.
All right, so you're playing hurt. Yeah. Anything
6.5,
below 7?
7.
Anything
I mean, I
below
slept
7.5.
great last night. I went to
Good.
bed at 7:30
Good.
and slept for 12 hours. But
Oof.
been going nonstop since. It's been up. Got up to take a piss, retweeted the show. Literally 4 o'clock in the morning, our time. It was a perfect time to retweet the show. Got us another 500 views, which we appreciate on the
Nice.
Twitter feed.
Very
So
cool. Nice.
somehow that works sometimes.
East
Sometimes it
Coast
doesn't.
drive
I don't
time,
know.
baby.
Right? I guess. I don't know. We're trying everything we can, talking to a lot of people, and we appreciate all of you being here. So we're good. Where were you on the scale of 1 to 10, sir?
Yesterday I was much worse. Yesterday I was a 7. I'm a 9.5 today. I went for a 2-mile run this morning.
You sounded like you got some working now.
Oh,
Before we
yeah. No,
started.
because
Yeah.
when I run outside in these conditions, which are, it's like running through pollen, I tend to get the, I got to clean out I got to clean the lungs out. Yeah. So it always happens this time of the year when I'm outdoor running, but the outdoor running season for me is so short. It's only 2 months. So I got to get the boxing stuff going because I'm starting to get myself ramped back up. So I got to get the cardiovascular stuff get going.
What, to get back boxing?
Yeah, I'm going to go back in. I don't know if I'm going to fight, but I'm going to go back in boxing at some point in the next couple of months.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to pick it back up again. So I'm doing it on my own for now, and then I'll go back into it a little more aggressively. I miss it. It's a mental thing for me. It's a cathartic thing for me. And going to the gym is fun, but it's not the same as what I got when I was going to a boxing gym. I miss the guys. I miss the camaraderie. I miss the common pain. I miss going through pain with somebody else. And that struggle.
What the fuck do you think this is every day? We're going through pain every day. This is pain every day, isn't it?
This is not pain at all.
This is fucking pain for me and everyone
else. The only
else
pain
watching.
in the ass is you showing up 45 minutes late every day. That's the only pain in the ass.
10:30. I thought it's the start time of the show now. No?
Whatever time. Ask Farra where we are at 10:30 most days. Normally we're here waiting on you.
I know.
So that's not 10:30. So it's just, it's ish, as we say. It's just around the line. So yes, it's the ish. But no, this is nothing compared to what people do for real work. I'm not digging ditches. I'm being outside in this pollen every day, all day.
No. Can't do it.
And then it goes to 100. And we're going to get a nice little run here for a couple of weeks of 80, 75 to 85 miles.
Are we? Because it feels like we skipped the whole 80s.
Yeah, we're back down.
There's a lot of people that were on cocaine in the 80s and they skipped the whole 80s.
Yeah.
We skipped the whole 80s. It went from
did.
60s and 70s right to 92.
6 on the campus of UNLV yesterday. 96. It got
96
hot.
Feels like 150 after it.
It does.
Cold.
I would agree with you.
I was like, what the? I got in the car. Everything was hot again. I was like, man.
Oh, yeah. Madeline and I went.
Bad.
Yeah, we went and got ice cream after school. She was like, can I go in the pool? I'm like, if you want to, go ahead. The water's freezing because it's been really cold outside for the last couple of months. And she was like, oh, I don't want to do that. But yeah, I agree. It went 0 to 100. And we were like, oh, okay. I said to my class, I was like, I'm glad we all moved back to Las Vegas. We're now back living in Las Vegas because we haven't been living in Las Vegas for the last 2 months. It's been bizarre. So now, yeah. But no, I think we're going to be good for a couple of weeks. It's just, 75, 80. Mornings of 65. That's why I went for a run. It's gorgeous.
Oh,
outside.
it's great this morning. Oh,
It's you can't beat these mornings. You got to get out and enjoy it and appreciate it as we
right.
go. So, all right, tonight the NBA play-in tournament begins.
I like the way you said that. I don't call it the playoffs. Is it the playoffs yet, or
Well,
is
that's
it
the
the playoffs?
question that I'm going to ask you because
Yeah.
the NBA play-in is seemingly talked about differently than the NCAA play-in because the NCAA play-in gets poo-pooed by people saying this ain't the tournament, this isn't real. So why aren't we saying this to the same thing with the NBA playoffs? The playoffs don't begin tonight, right? This is just the play-in.
I don't know what to call it.
I mean, it's the
I
same
mean,
thing. It's the same treatment. This is not the bracket. This is to play to get into the bracket.
yeah, I don't consider it the playoffs. I don't consider it to play in the tournament. So
Mhm.
I don't. Where are you with it? Are you calling it the playoffs? Let me guess. You're calling it the playoffs.
I'm not because the contract incentives do not call it the playoffs. So in order for a
Contract.
contract, player contract incentives, if you have an incentive clause that gets to the postseason, get to a playoff, in order to get the contract incentives to pay off, you must be in the final 8. You must be one of the 8 seeds to be considered a playoff team.
So are these games go to they play 82 regular season games? Does it count as 83 and 84 for these teams?
It should. I mean, technically, yeah, it should.
It does not, though, in the
It does
record
not.
books and stuff.
It does
No.
not. It's its own category.
Okay. Well, I I don't understand. Is this guy texting right now during the show? Can we tell him?
It's
Mike.
fine. Just ignore it. It's fine. He
I
doesn't
mean,
he doesn't know what's going on.
he doesn't know what's going
He,
on.
he's brand new to us. He doesn't know what's going on. He has no clue. He has no clue when we do the show. He has no
All right,
idea. So
that's fine.
I'll deal with it later.
All right.
So
Um,
2
I,
games tonight.
I'm calling it the play-in. I
Okay.
just call it another game. That's how
Agreed.
about that? I'm gonna
Well,
call it another game,
technically for us, that's all it is. Even the playoffs, it's just another game.
right?
Hawks are laying 5 to the Heat. So the Heat are laying 5 to the Hawks. Excuse me, flip that around. The total is 228 here. I've seen a lot of people in the betting space really downplaying Trey Young's ability to do anything tonight against this Heat defense. That they seem to have his number, and that this is a Heat play tonight. Take the home teams, money line parlay both home teams, and you should be good. Agree?
Money line parlay both home teams. So that's tonight
Lakers,
and
Heat.
Heat.
Mhm.
Are you doing this just tonight, or are you combining tomorrow's too?
I don't like doing cross day
You don't
parlays.
like cross days.
I don't like doing that.
Okay.
Personally, it's just a personal preference. Some people, you can do that if you want, but I just, for the sake of the conversation, Heat Lakers are laying 5 and 8.5 tonight.
I mean, Atlanta could win. No,
I have no idea on these games. I'm
right?
going to play a couple of player props just because I have to, but I have no real feel for either one of these games, and I'm not really invested emotionally or financially in either of these games as to what happens.
I mean, yesterday we wore all the Lakers stuff. I just everybody's betting the Lakers. Everybody got the Lakers to win the Western Conference. They're betting the Lakers. We told everybody yesterday on the show that the line was going to go up.
Yep.
It's 8.5 today.
Am I getting 9?
You might. You might. It's
I get 9, I
some
fire.
book might just say fuck it
Yep.
and
Give me
move to 9.
You give me 9. I'm interested at 9.
Guys, if you're in the room and watching the show live right now, just go to 9. Take a bet back. Like it's just to find out where the top is.
Yep.
Somebody just make a move. Do it right now. I will see if anybody's watching. I know Perry Dawkins is watching. Thanks,
Okay.
John. John had a nice tweet today. I'm going to talk to him about that later. But
Oh, good.
I don't know. Well, I think Miami's going to win the game. Atlanta is a mess. Atlanta's an absolute mess. But 5? How do you trust Miami laying 5? I think your money line parlay a better idea than laying the points.
Okay, so if you had to lay the points, if you had to take a side, would you take the +5?
I wouldn't do anything before the game. I wouldn't do any. I need to see
Completely
this
agree.
game. I wouldn't do a damn
Completely
thing
agree.
before the game.
Completely
We
agree.
don't have to do any more, like
Nope.
with this whole,
Nope.
future of betting
I
and
agree.
all the
Well,
in-game stuff.
NBA games are so volatile. So, and this game has the chance to be really a bunch of runs and swings. You may be able to get +5 on both sides at some point tonight.
Mhm.
You may be able to get a 10-point middle and just kick your
Mm.
heels up and wait and see who wins. And hopefully it follows inside of one possession either way. That's how I want to play it. If I did anything pregame, I'd take +5, and then I'd hope for the Hawks to get a lead at some point and get a +5 on the Heat and just sit back and, you know, don't worry, or wait for the Heat to be a pick and take the Heat at pick and just go down that road. But no, I'm not interested in 5.
Right. The only thing I would do pregame, I think, would be to take because I would look to take Miami the other way, and I know I'm grabbing the dog at a point where, I mean, if Atlanta gets out to a lead or wins the first quarter, I mean, it's
Mhm.
gonna be flipped the other way.
Mhm.
It's gonna be so easy to do.
Right.
Is anybody at this game? Do you think
Yes.
when they
Yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
they're
Yeah, yeah,
gonna
yeah.
have people in
Yeah,
Miami go
yeah,
to
yeah,
this
yeah,
game?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Are they?
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Really?
yeah. It won't be like a rock. I don't think it'll be like a rocking NBA finals type environment, but yeah, there'll be fans there.
Mm.
It'll be well attended. The the late game is interesting because of what happened with the Timberwolves and the fact that they're not going to play Rudy Gobert. They've lost one of their best players due to punching the wall. It's been a bad couple of days for the Timberwolves, and that's why everyone is betting the Lakers. This is, I don't want to call it like the ultimate contrarian spot, but you are riding with the books, are you not? If you take the points,
There's not a book on planet Earth that doesn't need Minnesota to cover.
okay.
I mean, even the books in the Twin Cities, right? Where
Oh, the with the black market.
yeah,
Yeah, I got
no,
it. Timmy on the corner. Okay, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Why is he named Timmy?
I
Why'd you
don't
go
know.
there?
I don't
We
know.
know some Timmys. I don't know
We
if
do.
they're all
We do.
you should have said Matt when
Some
you're gonna
Matts. Ever made a bookie named Matt? There's no bookies named Matt. Not even Matty. There's no bookies named Matt.
Oh, no, 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 there's a Matty. I know, I have,
Oh,
but no,
I've never met a bookie named Matt. I've met a Bruno. I've met a Timmy. I've met a Johnny. I know a lot of Sullys. There's a bunch of
yeah.
Sullys in our books.
Is every one of them ending in Y or that sound? That's
Sully?
I used to no, just in general, all those names. It's you said Timmy, Johnny,
Well, because
Sully.
technically, if
Everybody
you're a
has them.
person of the people, if you're a bookie, technically there's probably some some love going on. So
Mm, just like that. He zapped himself. Unbelievable. What are we doing here? Farra, he zapped himself. Somehow it's gonna be our fault. There's no question. He's talking. See what he does? Talking about the Sully and all the Timmy and the this and the that, and then boom, or like he would say, boom, and he's gone just like that. Yeah, every book in the world will need Minnesota. Doesn't mean a thing. We've talked about this before too. Just because the book needs it doesn't mean it's going to come in. So choose wisely. And oh
I'm
wait,
back.
is he back? Oh,
That was not me. I got booted. Was not me. It was.
uh,
I got
some
chucked. Was
somebody
not me.
came in and said, "Keep talking about the Sullys and the Timmys and the Johnnies," and zip,
See you
bye
later.
bye.
You're out.
Yeah,
See you later. But
that's
yes,
it. Push the button.
yeah. There's a lot of Sullys that I've known over the years.
Well,
Always wise.
okay.
Markies, Sullys, Timmys, Johnnies, Jimmys.
Yeah,
Guys who end of the bar.
a lot of them.
Joey, my grandfather,
Yeah.
Joseph. Well, they call him Joe. Grandpa Joe. So yeah, so those games. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting because I think it's the Lakers, so obviously people are going to watch tonight. But the home teams just need to win one game and then they advance. Bless you. So it's an opportunity. I think it's too good of an opportunity for the home team because they know they win one and they're in and they rest for a couple of days. So it's a huge incentive to win tonight.
Throw this question to you before we move on. Do all 4 home teams win these playing games?
I don't know if the Pelicans win. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Thunder have just been a thorn in everyone's side. They've played so hard, and the Pelicans won't have Zion.
Hmm.
So if a road team's going to win a game, I think it could be the Thunder.
I think I'm gonna have to break out all the Bulls stuff for tomorrow.
I think the Bulls could win. Yeah, possibly. If Zach LaVine goes crazy, yeah, that's possible. The Raptors are, I mean, just the comments that have been made by Nick Nurse over the last couple of weeks about the future for him in Toronto are really weird. Like he's really been like, I don't know what's next year, and I've been here 10 years, and maybe there's time for some. I mean, it feels like he knows it's over. Either he's deciding to leave Toronto, or Toronto has kind of said, "Hey, by the way, at the end of the year, like we're probably going to have to make some changes." So I think the team knows that, and I don't think I can trust them in a chance for them. They lose and they're done. I think there's a halfway decent shot that that's what we see. That the Bills could pull it off. I can see that.
So bizarre. It's like giving notice at a job
I agree. Talking publicly in the media like that, yeah. Uh-huh.
where you're like, yeah, I'm not coming back, or I'm leaving. I'll give you 2 weeks. I'm gonna give you my best, but I'm here. You know, I never understood that.
It's rare
I've
for a
been in jobs,
coach, a championship winning coach, to talk the way he has spoken in the public
right?
about whether or not he's going to be back next year. And the media has been pretty blunt. Like, are you coming back? And his answers have been very coy. Like, I'm not there right now. I'm here, and since I'm here, I'm going to coach the team. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a
Right.
ringing endorsement for the future for you. So it sounds like he'll be somewhere else next year, coaching or taking a year off or being in broadcasting or whatever. But
Right.
I've just heard horror stories about Nick Nurse for years, so I have a very jaded, skewed, biased opinion. So just with his time at Iowa State was not well received.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. They were not sad to see him leave when he left, and they were very stunned to see him get the job for the Toronto Raptors, and even more stunned that he won the NBA championship. So, which he did. So, can't take that away from him. And he'll always have that on his resume, and he'll get a job somewhere in the NBA for, whenever he wants it. He'll have a job if he wants to coach next year. So, before we get to hockey, because it is an absolute tonight and tomorrow, that's it for the games on Thursday and Friday are pathetic. Forget it. Flush them down the toilet. They're not worth watching. Till the playoffs, they're bad. But tonight and tomorrow, the NHL games are stupid good. And I mean, like, chef's kiss, stupid good. Before we do that, though, I just got to get your take on the Maryland bill, the anti-tout bill that Maryland has passed.
Yeah.
So we talked about this originally, that Maryland was going to try to have a handicapper audit, in which audits would be done to touts in the state, focusing on handicappers who work for Maryland's licensed sports books or those who use affiliate links associated with those sports book. However, as Sports Handle pointed out this morning, the bill doesn't actually mandate really anything. It says the licensed sports books, their contract with an independent evaluator, it's completely and totally on their own whether they want to contract with someone to track their wagers. It's entirely optional. It adds more work for the Maryland Lottery, who will be in charge of licensing the evaluators in the state.
Oh.
So in theory, the idea behind the bill makes sense. The lottery picks out evaluators, and the evaluators try to give a stamp of approval to credible handicappers who aren't misleading about their records or winnings. Removing shady touts, as Sports Handle writes, from the state's sports betting content would be a major plus for consumers if companies like SharpRank, which is one ranking service, can pull it off. But in practice, it's a challenge because, as we know, the big books aren't partnering with the touts in the illegal market. On top of that, there's no way of stopping a handicapper from advertising into Maryland who is in a shady tout. There's no penalty. It's a way of it's like a Better Business Bureau. It's like, hey, this handicapper has the Maryland Lottery stamp of approval. But like, it doesn't matter if you're running a boiler room. It doesn't matter if you're advertising into the state. It doesn't matter if you're lying. There's no penalty for any nefarious behavior. None. So I don't really understand what the point of the bill is.
Sounds like a hell of a deal.
For whom?
Well, for the handicapper, like there's no. I thought this was going to hold people accountable.
Correct.
It's not holding anybody accountable.
Well, it would hold you accountable if you are a Maryland handicapper licensed through the lottery. So you're tracking through one of their, this is kind of back to the when in the infancy of sports betting, when books would become the official sports book of whatever, right? There'd be a
Okay.
fee. There'd be a fee that would be paid for that.
Okay.
So these companies, Sharp Rank being one or others, there's a company in Oklahoma, there's another company out there on the internet that likes
Yeah.
to track handicappers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to have to pay the lottery to be considered one of the reputable sites.
One of the reputable monitors.
Yep. Police, if you
Right.
will.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
handicappers who want to be policed will then go and have to pay a fee, I'm guessing, to Sharp Rank or something like that to be considered tracked and run their picks through them, through that reputable source. It's a lot of hoops. It's a lot of hoops
Oh.
for not a lot of benefit. I don't know if a consumer will even understand or care.
What is anybody gonna do that?
I think some people will. I think there are some people that feel really strongly about tracking their bets and being public and being, transparent about what they're doing every day. But it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. Lines change, movements, you bet in game, you bet in a Discord channel. Like you're supposed to. The reason why I couldn't do it, because with just the picks, I tried doing this. I tried running all of my picks through a service to track it. It doesn't work because of the volatility of the market and when you fire on your bets. Like if you're in-game wagering and you tell your audience, look, it's now pick fire on the Hawks tonight, right? Well, you're going to go after the fact and tell Sharp Rank you did that. But Sharp Rank won't categorize that as an actual play because they didn't get it before you gave it out. You see what I mean?
Sounds like a whole lot of more bullshit then.
It's a lot. It really is. It really doesn't do anything. It just it the only way, and I've said this before, the only way I think we ever really get to a point where you can't track a handicapper. You can't do it. You have to make them pay for a license. You have to have them be a licensed handicapper, like a stock market person. Have to have them literally have a business license. So when and if they screw up or they break the law or they do something nefarious, that you can go to a committee, you go to the government and say, look at this guy screwed me over. Here's my proof. You take his license. He can no longer operate in the state. They'll do it anyway, just like stockbrokers operate in the shadows all the time as well.
I was
But
gonna
it's more
say this is no different than a stock guy telling everybody half his clients to buy a stock and half his clients to sell a stock.
fair.
They do what they
100%
want anyway.
fair.
They ask you to do it for them,
Fair.
you
Right.
know, and okay,
But
so
a stock person has to be licensed through the SEC.
yeah, they get Series 7, all that other
Yes.
shit,
So that
Series
should be established.
31.
There should be something established to separate people
For
who want it.
sports handicappers?
Yes, I've
A
always believed that.
test?
Yes, not a test per se, but you have to be a licensed person. You have to run a reputable business, not some dude on with a TikTok account. You got to be actually running a reputable business.
Oh,
And
wow.
most handicappers want no part of that. They like
Oh,
their freedom on the internet. They like their Venmos and they like how they pass money back and forth and no one sees anything what they're doing.
oh, this is
So
gonna change everything.
if you do it, but no one's going to do it. I mean,
No one's gonna do it.
the information you need from a lawmaker's perspective to go down that road for so few people. I mean, like how many handicappers are operating in the state of Maryland? Like ballpark 50, 100? This is not
What are
like
you
a
talking about?
wide.
There's probably thousands.
You think there's thousands of handicappers, people going public with their picks, running a
Are we
sheet of
talking
people, of clients.
on TikTok and all
Yeah.
this
You
other
think there's
stuff? Like this
thousands of handicappers in Maryland?
Maryland's got a lot of people that are
I don't
well,
know.
I mean, Virginia, Maryland, that whole area?
Well, no, you can't be out of state's fine. That's the problem.
Well, so you can live in Virginia, but, you know, participate in this. Okay. Well, then there's no teeth to any of this.
None. Literally none. I mean, it's a state of 6
What
million
the
people. 6 million people live in Maryland. How many legitimate handicappers do you think operate in Maryland? Say
I
1,000.
mean,
Say
that
1,000.
okay,
So
1,000.
1,000 handicappers. That's not a
Right.
very big number for the government to worry about.
Oh, man, they're worrying about a lot of stuff they shouldn't be worrying about. That don't make it better. I mean,
No, I mean,
this is
again, I
crazy.
want a
Like,
state. I want Mass to do it. I would love to see Massachusetts do it. To have a
oh,
separation, to have give an avenue for somebody who wants to do it the right way, and to give it, give their stamp of approval, but actually have some teeth to it. Like you want to be a handicapper. If we catch you giving out advice and picks to people publicly without being a licensed handicapper in the state, we're coming after you. There'll be fines. I would love to see it. It never will pass because people don't, the amount of work that will be needed to be done to
oh,
get
man.
not a very big payoff for the state.
I
Like what
I I don't know.
what's the benefit for the state to really do this? And I don't think the state, you could do a federal law, but state by state, I don't think it really benefits. There's not enough money there for a state to, you know,
You think there's more handicappers than there are people booking the games in Maryland?
way more bookies, way more bookies,
I mean, like,
way more bookies in Maryland than there are people doing handicappers. Yep. Way
you
more
know,
bookies. That's true. That's
I
100%
just,
true.
who are they gonna use any resources, I mean, to go after and monitor and all this other stuff? There's a great line from a movie that Will Smith was in where he was like a target of government agency and stuff, and I forget Enemy of the State, I think it was
Okay.
called,
Right.
where he said, or his wife in the movie said, "Well, who's gonna monitor the monitors?"
Mhm.
Because they wanted
Yep.
cameras everywhere and all this other stuff, and then you said,
Yep.
Who's gonna monitor the monitors?" That's my first question with this. I mean, it sounds like if this has teeth,
Doesn't.
that would be one thing. It does
Right.
not. This is literally someone that's had all their teeth pulled and it's got their gums and there's nothing to this. 0. Second, if you have that and you
Yeah.
actually had teeth, who in the hell is gonna run that? The lottery?
Yes. Maryland Lottery is in charge of it in Maryland.
Total disaster.
Correct. Correct.
So, I'm
It's
impressed that the article was even written. I'm impressed it was even talked about.
they're trying. I mean, I give them credit for at least asking the question. It's just in the actual, they have a bill and the bill has no power. Like it has no, in theory, it sounds great. In actual, implementation, no, it won't change anything.
Oh, I mean, the last question would be, who would voluntarily do this? I
I
mean,
would.
like, you would voluntarily if you were in Maryland.
Yeah.
So if they come up to Nevada
Yep.
and say, "You have to do this now
Yeah. I would do it. And I would explain to
to
them.
continue doing the juice or whatever, you would have to do this."
I don't care. I mean,
You would do it.
I have no
Okay.
problem with anything I give out as an official play. You can track it. It's tracked now. It's been tracked for years. So I don't care. I mean, it doesn't fade or follow me. I don't care what my record is. I don't care what I'm doing. It's all public. It's all out there. So it wouldn't be any skin off my teeth to go ahead and do it. It's just that I would explain to them that, like, look at when am I giving you the picks? Like, when is it considered tracked and when is it not? Because the way I do it oftentimes is I'll tell people I'm going to tell you the bet I'm going to make in game. So be on the Discord channel and I'll tell you when I'm firing. How does that get tracked through a service, through a monitor service? It doesn't. So that it's only it doesn't happen all the time, but that I think is a problem for any service when it comes to how they're going to be tracking someone's picks. Football season, it's easy, give it to them on Saturday morning before the game's on Sunday. It's like, it's not hard to do it during football, but during baseball, basketball, hockey, it's a lot more difficult to do that. I tried it. I couldn't do it. I tried it for a month. I literally tried it with Sharp Rank for a month. I had meetings with those guys and they were phenomenal. I like them all. They're really sharp and smart dudes who have figured out a way of like getting a lot of people in our industry to give them their picks. And I think it's good to have that tracking service. I tried it. It didn't work for me. For what I do, it didn't work. For
Right.
somebody else, maybe it does, but it didn't work for me.
We know a
So,
lot of people in the space that sell picks, and
mhm.
they're doing it. If you find me doing it ever, I'm one step away from Skid Row. I'm
Mm.
just putting it out there right now. I'm going to
Mhm.
need to do it, for money.
Mhm.
I don't really want to ever have to do it because I've seen the dark side of the business, and I just don't. I don't have any interest in it.
Mm-mm.
Um, God bless people that do it. One, and they get customers too, so
Mhm.
that's fine. Um, I just we let them get involved in legalizing sports betting, and they're fucking it up.
But that
We're
was
gonna now.
predictable. But I mean, that's just the way that humans
I,
in government work. I mean,
I know, but if you're gonna put them in this,
uh-huh.
you're not gonna make it better. I mean, the goal, if they're trying to really make it, is to make it better. They're not.
Yeah.
That's not gonna make
I mean,
it
look,
better.
they
All of that is not
legalized
gonna make it better.
cannabis and they didn't figure out how people were going to pay for it. They realized that the companies that ran the credit cards weren't going to allow any transactions to be done, so it had to be done via cash. That created a huge cash influx in Colorado, and to the point where they have to have paramilitary security taking their money to the bank because people knock off there's so much cash being brought in, people go and rob the people who are trying to put the money in the bank. Like, they didn't think that through of like, oh shoot, so we're going to legalize cannabis. How are they going to pay for it? Oh, with cash. Okay, so when all this cash is lying around, what do we do with it? Like, we're not secure. We're not a bank. How are we going to have like 100,000 on cash every day at their dispensary? How can we handle that? Oh, hire an ex-military people to come in and take it to the bank for us.
Right.
Like, they created a whole couch industry of violence potentially by doing that. So yes, all the time. That is a par for the course that we see unforeseen consequences popping up all the time whenever we go through a legalization process like this.
I should ask the people that might be in it. I just keep asking if they really want to know. They could ask the right people. They're just not asking the right questions and asking the right people, which
I'm not
leads you
know
to
if they even
believe
know who to
that's
ask.
the
I don't I
problem
don't
when I
think
say
yeah.
nobody knows shit. A lot of people really don't know and are
Yeah.
afraid to say, "I don't know."
You don't know what you don't know. Like, that's one of my favorite lines. Like, you don't know what you don't know. And they don't know who to ask because they don't know what they're looking at. It's a problem. It's been a problem for a
I
while
don't think they
now.
wanna ask. That's part of the
That
problem
also
too.
could be the problem too, for a variety of reasons. It's not just all nefarious. It might also be ego. They think that they know. Oh, we can do this. This is easy. We can handle this. This is what sports betting. Come on, simple. Nothing.
I just looked down at your chat. Seabass, Sebastian Anthony. Yes, I love to watch movies. I watch movies and read books in my spare time. That's what I do. In
Why?
addition to being a dad and taking care of kids, I love to do that. No, because I always give quotes from movies and stuff. He came in the chat
Oh,
and said, "Sounds like all Dave does is watch movies in his spare time."
why
I
not? It's a phenomenal pastime. I love doing that.
I
Oh,
watch games, I watch movies, and I
yeah.
read books. Those are my and
I
at
watch
some
shows
point
too.
yeah, I like I mean, there has to be a payoff. I can't invest time in shows if they're shit. I
What do
just
you mean?
well, I mean, I used to watch shows all the time, and I can't get now with everything we're doing with content.
You would like Secession. You would
Well,
like it. It's up your
I
alley. You'd like it.
I gotta be careful what I watch with the kids around all the
Oh
time
no,
too.
there's no problem with that. Yeah, it's an R-rated show because of the language, but that's it. There's no like
Okay,
sex or violence or anything. Secession's a very
okay.
it's the family dynamic. It's a lot of strategic moves and backstabbing decisions, and it's an interesting show. It's wrapping up. It's in its final season, but you'd like it if you watch Secession. It's a good
I'll
show.
have to binge watch those. Okay.
Yeah, it's worth it. I think you would get into it. It's got some pretty funny characters that are on the show. That very well written, well acted show. All right, let's get to the NHL.
Yep.
Calgary, you embarrassment. You goodness gracious. I mean, this is if I'm a Calgary Flame fan, I am irate this
Are
morning.
you?
Yes.
Oh, you
How
didn't
do
see
you
this
lose?
coming?
How do you lose to Nashville?
Nashville's trying too. What do you mean, how do you lose?
How do you lose this? I mean, Markstrom was awful. I mean, what are you doing? This is so bad. I mean, it's second time in 3 years for the Calgary Flames. They missed the playoffs, won the division, missed the playoffs. Just goes to show you, man. I don't think the Cup's ever going back to Canada.
Ever?
I don't know. It's been 25 years. I don't know who's bringing it back.
What are we doing with this Canada thing?
Who's bringing it back?
Just
Tell me who's
taking the
bringing
whole
it back.
country
Edmonton's. Who?
You're just taking the whole country out right now? I mean, usually you annihilate cities one by one. But
Let's go. Let's go through them. You think Vancouver's winning the Cup sometime soon? Come on.
playoffs. Let's make the playoffs.
No. My line is I'm not sure when the Cup is ever going back to Canada. So tell me, is Vancouver winning the Cup anytime soon?
Edmonton's the best case scenario.
Best case scenario,
right?
and that's it. It ain't happening in Toronto. Montreal's a clown show. Go through it.
Winnipeg's going to qualify for the playoffs with a win tonight.
I like Winnipeg. You think they're a joke because you've made fun of them all year. So you're
not
ripped
winning
on.
the Cup.
Okay, so then they're out. Okay, so who else are we talking about? Like, that's the problem. I mean, you just go through it, and the Canadian teams. Yeah, it's your sport. Yeah, you love it. Okay, but Montreal's probably not going to get Connor Bedard, and they've got big problems.
It'll be interesting to see how quick the teams that have been tanking for shot at Bedard turn it around, because like when you look at it, like Chicago looks like they're going to be bad for a while. Like one player isn't going to fix what's going on there. Vancouver,
They have cap space though, right? Chicago's got a lot of cap space, I believe, next year.
Yeah, but it's not like the NBA where you can bring one guy over and that changes the whole team from bad to good.
Right.
Like,
fair. Yeah.
It's the best guy on the team plays 25 minutes. Like sometimes they play 30, which is half the game.
Right.
Like, but the top lines play 25 minutes a game. It's just over a third of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ultimate team game. I mean, it really is. Geez, I don't know. It's Edmonton, Vancouver,
That's it.
Toronto, Calgary, Winnipeg, Montreal.
See, it's not good.
I mean, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. We appreciate all of you watching the show.
But they know. But Canada knows. They know. Now they claim
in the chat which Canadian team is going to be the first.
Edmonton. It's the only one.
Get to the Cup final.
It's Edmonton. That's it. It's only Edmonton. It's the only one that makes any sense is Edmonton. And the Canadian, the diehard, their point is that, well, right now the NHL won't allow Canada to ever win again.
I forgot Ottawa. Sorry. Thanks, Linus.
Thank you.
I forgot Ottawa. Could be them.
Easy to do. Please. I watched Ottawa last night.
They got a lot of young talent.
That game was I mean, my goodness gracious. Had that game stayed under, and it never should have stayed under, but we'll get to it in a second. I mean, it's just Ottawa, sure. Easy to forget Ottawa. They say it. I was watching the Ottawa broadcast. They say Ottawa on their broadcast.
Ottawa.
It was driving me nuts. I was like,
that is completely the wrong syllable.
It was driving me nuts.
Ottawa
is what they were saying on the broadcast. I was watching the Ottawa broadcast, and that's what they were saying. Here in Ottawa, I was like, why are you saying it like that? That's really, Ottawa. Yeah, Ottawa. No, it's Ottawa.
Ottawa?
Yeah, Ottawa. I guess that's the way you're supposed to say it.
With an accent on the second syllable.
Mm-hmm. That's the proper native Canadian saying.
That's just somebody trying
to be Native American.
I have never heard Ottawa.
Right. I was like, why are you saying it was driving me nuts. I was like, I can't watch this broadcast. This guy's driving me crazy because that's what he was saying. Ottawa. I was like, okay, sure. So I don't know. That was news. But Calgary, enjoy the golf. Jets should win the last playoff spot in the West. They should get in. Calgary got eliminated while I was doing the Daily Juice. It was amazing. I was like watching it. I was talking about all the scenarios, and then the E popped up while I was doing the Juice. I was like, oh, Calgary just got eliminated. They're out. Jets are going to be in. This is interesting. So this is who, the Vegas Golden Knights, depending on how it all shakes out, but the Vegas Golden Knights could wind up playing the Jets.
Yeah, is that good or bad?
I don't know. It's a really good question. I think it makes for a contrast in styles, which is cool. But
Hmm.
I mean, I like the Jets. You don't. I like hot goaltenders. You don't think they score enough.
Right.
Can they win? Can they win a series?
I mean, again, it's the NHL playoffs. Anything can happen. Um, who's playing? We still don't even know who's playing goal for the Knights.
It's Brossoit.
He's going to be
It's
the number one going into the playoffs.
expected. I think tonight. No, we don't know who the number one is. That's true. We don't know.
Yeah, so I can't make any declarations yet.
I think Cassidy is straight up is gonna play the hot hand. I really do. I think he gave Jonathan Quick 2 games. I think he's gonna give Brossoit these last 2 games, and then he's just gonna play the hot hand in game 1 and ride the goal. I mean, just going off past experience and how he did with the Bruins, he rides whoever is hot. So
Right.
and if Quick's looked very good, so it's up to Brossoit to look good tonight against Seattle.
I don't know. When I was playing or when I was even coaching kids and stuff, like I watch how the team plays when the goalie's playing
Okay.
and if there's a difference. I love the way the Knights play in front of Brossoit.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the number one. I think the Knights win a series against the Jets in 5 games.
Possible.
I think they win every home game.
Hold that
Well,
thought. We'll get to the Knights
yeah,
at the end.
I think they beat the Jets up. The Jets don't win tonight, do they?
Well, I mean, it doesn't
I mean,
matter for them,
Minnesota,
right?
it
It doesn't matter if
matter.
they. I don't think it
Yeah,
matters.
for Minnesota?
It does for Minnesota. I mean, yeah, that's 100%. I mean, just looking at for the Central, it's Colorado with 104 points, Dallas with 104 points, Minnesota with 102 points, Vegas 107, Edmonton 105, LA 102, Seattle has 100, Winnipeg 93. Calgary's been eliminated. Nashville's mathematically still alive with 90 points, but they're 3 points behind Winnipeg. They're not going to catch them.
Edmonton, Colorado's the game tonight.
Hold on. Don't jump ahead. We got plenty of that coming up.
Just saying what the chat was thinking.
It
That's
is.
all.
Yes, we got that coming up.
That's the
So
game.
Florida had a chance to clinch last night. They blew it.
Are you and Rob going at it now? Are you officially going at it on the Twitter?
I mean, it's going at it. It's fine. You just people think that I get really upset about if the Bruins lose, I'm gonna be fine.
right.
Like I've said this before, I don't need to see another championship the rest of my life. I am 100% cool. I got it all. I got everything I wanted to see in my life. I got. So I'm good. So the Bruins blow this. Okay, that's too bad. They lost it in 2019. It was the same thing. Yeah, that stinks. Okay. Next year. I just my sports fandom is such like people want you to be emotional. I'm just not emotional anymore about my teams because I recognize what the 80s and 90s were like and what the last 20 years were like. The Yankees need to win 3 World Series just to tie the Red Sox over the last 20 years. The Patriots have 6 championships. 6. The Bruins, Cup in 2019. They won it in 2011. Celtics won it in 2008. They went to the finals last year. It's like people say you Boston fans live in the past. What the fuck are you talking about? They played in the NBA finals last year. Like, what are we doing? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. This idea that like trying to rip on Boston fans because you guys are all washed up. That was the Patriots' reign is over. Okay. Like, do you think that
God
like
it's over.
do you think that bothers us? Do you think like we really go, oh man, you got me? That's son of a gun. We're not the Cowboys guys. All right. Talk to me in 30 years, then maybe I might be bothered. But I have very recent history seeing a parade for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Really, really recent. Okay. So it's idiotic. The Red Sox won the World Series in 2018. Like what? Like this is 5 years ago. This is not long ancient history. The Celtics are one of the top teams. They could win it all this year. The Bruins could win it all
It's been a while
this year.
since the Celtics won, though. I mean,
2008, but they played for it last year. They're in the NBA Finals
lost.
last
Yeah.
year, and they
did
lost.
lose.
But
They
they
did.
were there. They were playing for it. They were one of
Right.
2 teams eligible to win the championship at the end. And oh yeah, by the way, both the star players are sub 25. Like,
Which
like
means they could be back. Yeah.
so like there's
Right.
not a lot of living in the past going on right now. That's my whole thing that I just laugh at this. I'm like, you can try to play this game if you want. You can try to get under me or other people from Boston's skin.
Yep.
It just doesn't work right now.
It works
'Cause
with some people from Boston. They
okay,
get
maybe, but they just want
you
they
get
just like to
under you
fight.
get
I
under
think
the
those
skin.
people just like to fight. Like you're picking a fight with
That's
a Sully.
what people from Boston like to do, though.
Correct, but
Most
you're picking
people
a fight
from
with
Boston like
Sully
to
or
do it.
Timmy or
Right.
Johnny and whatever, and they probably would punch you in the fucking face over anything. So it doesn't matter what it is with sports or anything. They probably, if you tell
There's
them a Guinness should be poured a certain way, they probably would smack you around. So like it doesn't really matter what they're gonna fight over. They're gonna fight over it just because
yeah.
they want to fight you over something.
There's a lot of
So
people that like to fight on the socials,
yes, and
and
I'm one of them.
and
But not over this. Like this is I laugh because this is Rob was trying to get under my skin. I was like, dude, I was like, the Bruins are gonna choke and I'm gonna come at you so hard. Go ahead. I don't care.
right.
Like, what are you gonna do? The Bruins lost. Yes. Next. What's next? Like, I'm not gonna in 2003, I was in a puddle. I was in all my lights were off in my apartment. I was watching it from as far away from the TV as I could watch it, and I laid on my ground on my carpet of my apartment for literally a half an hour and I didn't move. When that ball got hit, when Tim Wakefield got hit and the Red Sox lost to the Yankees, I was emotionally
Crusher.
devastated. Devastated for days. I was
Man.
devastated. Then I got given the greatest sports comeback ever. And if you had told me in that moment, hold on a second,
Oh,
what is coming?
2002.
You cannot believe what you're about to
Oh,
experience.
man.
This of the low, of the crushing of the crushing, it's going to be worth it because in 12 months, the euphoria is going to be so great.
Mm.
We all would have been like, okay, sign us up. In the moment, we were a mess. In 2004, I was jumping on cars. Literally.
You jumped on
So,
cars?
yes,
What
literally.
the hell's wrong with you?
I don't know. It's in Alabama. I was like, whatever.
Jumped on cars in Alabama?
uh Ran outside my apartment complex or where I was. I was watching it at my girlfriend's house, but I ran outside and jumped in cars.
Whose car did you jump on?
I don't know. Random people.
Now, I'd have kicked your ass if you were jumping on my car. What the fuck are you jumping on cars for? Can you imagine being in Bama
Oh,
and
I didn't care.
going
I
outside and seeing some
drunk
kid from
Boston.
fucking Boston jumping on your car? What are you jumping on my car for? The Red Sox won the World Series. I can't believe it.
Uh-huh.
Get off my fucking car.
Yep. Fair. And they would have been right to do so. Absolutely. But in the moment,
What's wrong with
I
you,
literally
son?
was running around outside screaming. They were like, what the hell is wrong with you? But that's what I was doing. And so
And
like
admit it. Like
what?
the Boston one, the Red Sox one was different than the rest. It was forever. I mean, you hadn't seen that your whole life.
Bill Simmons wrote it correctly. A Boston Red Sox World Series championship changed the world. It changed the world. It did. It changed everything. It didn't just change
Changed
New
the
England.
world.
It changed the sports world. Everything in the sports world changed because the curse of the Bambino was gone. That narrative, that conversation, 86 years, that was all gone.
Right.
Bill Buckner, all the inept,
Right.
the collapse to the Yankees in the 70s, Billy, all the nastiness that went around the Buckner situation in Bucky fucking Dent and all the things that happened. Yes, 100%. It was different. Patriots could have won 10 championships and it wouldn't have mattered nearly as much as one championship for the Red Sox.
Correct.
Not even close. Not even the
Right.
same. Bruins are number 2. Celtics are a
Right.
close number 3. Bruins,
Right.
but there is something, it really depends upon where you are as a Bostonian because hockey families are different in New England. And it's a very much, I don't want to call it a cult type of following, but it's either you are a hockey family or you are not. There's no in between. So, and the hockey people are hockey people.
Yeah, but like you saw it here, right? When the Knights went on a run, the whole city became hockey people.
Right, but that's a little different only because when the cup was won in 2011, the Celtics had already won 17 championships. The Bruins won their 6th cup in 2011 and the people who were celebrating, it was a different part of the city who was celebrating the Bruins. There's a lot of people in New England that don't get hockey. Like they like it, but they don't really get it. It's a It's become better recently, but like in talk radio terms, like talking about the Bruins on talk radio is a killer.
Right.
It doesn't move the needle.
No.
People don't know the players the same way they know the NBA.
No.
People don't follow it like they do with baseball. And it doesn't have the pop that football has.
Requires a little bit of work. You might
More than
have
a
to
little.
pay a little bit of
Yeah.
attention, and
Yes.
it's hard.
Yeah.
So
So it's
yeah,
different.
it's definitely different.
It's
But
100% different.
but the playoff runs in those sports are just different.
Oh,
Playoff runs
NHL
in the
playoffs are
baseball is
just
different. The hockey
yeah.
playoffs is just
That's
different.
when it does get talked about when the playoffs are going on because it's easier to
Right.
understand. It's the Bruins got to win 4 games against this team. Doesn't matter who
Yeah.
it is to advance. People get that. They get behind that. Even if they aren't diehard hockey fans, they get behind the Bruins. Your Penguins, you're wearing the gear. They have 2 games left. The Florida Panthers have 1, and the Islanders have 1 game left. You do not control your own destiny. Do you get in?
What do you mean? Win-win. In.
You know, you're not in.
Talking about. They're gonna be
Win-win, you're not in. No, win-win,
win-win
you
is
need help.
4 points.
Yeah, and if Islanders go win, you don't catch them. And if Florida wins, you don't catch them.
How many
You're
points behind them are
well, I guess the
Islanders?
Islanders. I guess you could catch the Islanders because the Islanders scoffed last
Right.
night, so they have 91 points. So you actually
Right.
could catch the Islanders. So
Right.
it's possible. So if you win both games, I think you will be in, right? You're 94, 94. You both Islanders will have 93. So if you do win both games, you can get in. Yep. Okay. So you do control
Math
this.
thing is tough
No,
sometimes for
it
you.
changed last night. It changed because the Islanders
I
didn't win, get
think
2 points last night.
They
So
lost.
it changed last night. So that's why. Okay. So the Islanders, that was even worse than I thought with that loss for the Islanders. How the hell did they lose that game? My God. That loss was pathetic. And then the loss, who
They're
were they?
paying the guys on the other teams too. Like it happens.
Yeah,
These
but
things
it
happen.
was last night was bad. I mean, Carolina's loss last night was simply embarrassing.
Happens.
It was embarrassing. That was so bad for Carolina because they might get jumped by the Devils. We'll get to that in a second.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, all that Carolina this, Carolina that, they're a wild card team potentially, or at least they're not wild card. They're not a one team. They're not playing a wild card team. They're playing, much different, playing the Rangers potentially.
The Penguins just went to minus 550 today.
Good.
In some places. Minus 570
Good.
at WinBet.
I got them last night way cheaper than that.
This is crazy.
They're
I
winning
told
tonight.
you
They're
a
winning
couple
tonight.
weeks ago, I was resigned to the fact they weren't going to make the playoffs. The recent play,
Right.
especially, Saturday.
Did you see what the Blackhawks
Yeah.
did last night? Do you see how they threw up all over themselves against the
Yeah.
Wild?
Yeah.
You can't lose. The Penguins can't lose this game tonight. It's impossible.
I mean, it's just that this would
Can't happen.
be a bad one. I don't think the Penguins lose tonight.
Yeah, Mike Sullivan, might need to pack his bags. Like, you can't lose this game. Like, this is just they're winning tonight. Penguins are winning tonight.
Yeah.
Automatic.
I mean, win, and in.
It's pretty good. Win, and then swept, or gentleman's sweep. A gentleman's sweep. You'll be around for 5 games, so it's okay. You need to get that 1 seed. You need to get away. Need to get that one. You need to get that one. You need to get that one. You need to get away from that 2. That second wild card's no good. That is not a good spot. That's not where you want to be.
We'll see.
Yeah, you match up really poorly with Boston, and you know it. You know you match up really poorly. Jari's not going to outplay Allmark. It is not happening.
God, would that be sick?
It is not happening. I'll tell you right. What's the line? 500? Minus 500 for the Bruins in that series?
Are you nuts?
Tell me, what is it? 800? 700?
You're
What is it?
going the wrong direction, sir.
You tell me what it is. Because I'm
They're
going
3
to
to
lay
1 to win the cup.
whatever it is. I'm laying it. Who's 3 to 1?
The Bruins right now are 3 to 1 to win the cup.
And they're 2 to 1 to win the East.
You're going to make.
So what are they in the
minus
first round against the
800?
wild card Penguins? So what are they? You tell me.
They got to win 4 games
They got to win more than 4 games.
just to win the first round series. You're
Yeah.
talking about the series price?
Talking about the Bruins against the Penguins series price. What is the Bruins series price
You
against the
think
Penguins?
it's as high as $5? You're
I
nuts.
think it's minus 500. Yeah.
Less. You'll be surprised.
Okay.
You will be surprised.
Only because of Crosby. But
I'm just telling you, you'll be surprised. It ain't gonna be no minus
that's great.
500.
Give me minus 250. Let me come in on the Bruins. Please let me come in on the Bruins.
Now you're
Give
thinking.
me 250. It shouldn't be 250, but give it to me because the books are going to hope that they get money on Pittsburgh. And that's fine. Get money on Pittsburgh because some people are going to bet Pittsburgh regardless of their brains. They're just going to bet Pittsburgh. Go ahead. It's giving the books the money. They're praying for Pittsburgh money. They want Penguins money.
I love this time of year.
Yes.
It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fast, but it's going to be fun. You'll get a game.
Hey,
It's all
like
right.
the kids say, that's what she said.
You'll get a game. It's okay.
It's gonna be fast and it's gonna be fun.
Fun.
Clip that.
Okay. It's gonna
3
be
seconds. It's gonna be fast. It's gonna be fun.
Yep.
Done. The BBB.
Yep. Because Pasta's gonna ruin your defense because you don't have an answer for Pasternak because you're worried about all the other players, which you should be. 4 lines rolled out with the best goaltender in the game. Look, the Bruins may not win the cup. Bruins are not losing to the Pittsburgh Penguins. May go 7. Okay, we may need to go 7. I may be wrong about the distance, but they match up extremely well with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Connor Witzke just came in the chat and said the Penguins taking out the Bruins would be epic.
It would. For the show's sake, it would be epic. I would not have nothing else to say. But it also is epic the same way. The Bruins ending Crosby's run is also epic because that's your boy. So we're taking out history. The problem is the Bruins players want to be the ones to take out Crosby.
Oh,
they grew up getting abused by Crosby.
Oh,
payback time.
I don't know. I don't know what I want to see, but
The
I want to see the
focus
Penguins
is
win
perfect.
tonight. Let's put it that way. If the
They're in.
Penguins lose tonight,
They're not losing tonight.
I will be really
No.
of those. See, I still watch the playoffs, although back in '93, when the Penguins were the 1 seed and lost to the Islanders, David Volek scored a goal that ended the Penguins' 2 Stanley Cups in a row run.
Wow.
We were at my apartment at Penn State still. My parents were up there because we were getting stuff tied, ready to go home.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch another hockey game for 2 weeks.
Wow.
I was so mad and angry because I had tickets. Like we were going, we went to all the playoff games, the whole lead up with, and it was done just like that on a stupid goal. So I know, one, I'm all right because the Penguins are dogs, but when they're favorites and lose, are we still going to talk about hockey if the Bruins lose?
Of course, 100%.
Okay.
I'm gonna bet the hell out of it. You're talking about, of course.
I just want to make sure.
I was betting hockey, regardless of the Bruins are going to go on their run or not. I mean, there's plenty of nights where I don't bet the Bruins. I haven't bet. There's been more nights where I don't bet the Bruins than I do bet the Bruins. I've left money on the table because I've outthought myself and should just bet the Bruins, and I haven't because I've gone, all right, they're due. I've been waiting for a cool off all year. Like, where is it? Where I kept waiting. Like, when are they going to start to lose? When are they going to go through a losing streak? When are they going to lose 4 games, 5 games in a row? When are they going to get hurt? Where are the injuries? That all could happen in the playoffs.
I don't even know who the one injury would be where it would be like, oh shit.
Well, Pasta getting hurt would be a dramatic, but they could overcome it, but it would be dramatic. I mean,
I'm saying they're a good team. I mean, they're going to be able to overcome at least one injury, which may or may not come.
Well, they already had it. I mean, Taylor Hall got hurt. Yeah.
They got, they got a lot of backup plans to the backup plans. So
they can roll throw lines. They're very deep, and they got 2 kids in the minors that played the last game that looked pretty damn good. So they've got some opportunities to roll here. So the Sabres are still alive. The Devils can win the division because Carolina choked last night against Ottawa. Devils are minus 235 tonight. They need help, but they could win the division. The Carolina Hurricanes play Florida. This is the best thing for you. Carolina plays
Detroit tonight,
Thursday.
Oh,
the last game of the year they play at on the road at Florida.
Okay,
that's crazy. As a Penguins fan, Carolina may need that game to win the division.
Good.
Yeah, it's huge for you. They can knock
Washington
Florida out
didn't need shit last night, and they beat the Islanders for us. That was great.
2-0 in the first 2 minutes, basically. It was a bang, bang, real quick lead. Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's all right. Um,
They win tonight. Carolina wins tonight, but New Jersey, I also think wins tonight. Sabres
yes.
get Sabres are
How about
alive only because of the 1 point that they got last night. Sabres get eliminated tonight.
Sabres can win this game too, though. Like
They could. Yeah, they
this is
could, but I don't think
crazy.
they will.
225,
I
235.
don't think so. I don't think it's that crazy.
Ooh,
I don't.
220 coming down. Ooh,
Yeah, I don't think it's that crazy. I think
okay.
$2 is fine. I think you can lay it. They're going to win this game.
Right.
Even
Wow.
money on the puck line. Buffalo gives up so many goals. This young Devils team. They literally have they have to win the division is in front of them. And not that it matters dramatically, but I don't know if they want to play the Rangers. I think they'd rather not. That's a hard series.
The league wouldn't mind that.
If they didn't play them?
No, if they played.
Why? Oh,
Even
of
more.
course. Monster ratings.
Oh,
Monster. I mean, you're not traveling, you're driving. I mean, it's an unbelievable series.
everybody stays at home in that
Yeah.
situation.
But I don't think they really I don't know if they want that per se, because that's a lot of the losing team gets a lot of heat. Their fan base
Right.
is furious because they lost. They got knocked out. So rather than go
I
play a wild
love all
card team,
this hockey talk. This is great. April hockey talk is awesome.
Tampa, Toronto. How about this? According to our friends up north and some of our guys who work at Covers, I haven't seen an official report of this, but the Toronto Maple Leafs may be starting their emergency goaltender tonight.
Yeah.
So this game is unbettable. I thought this was going to be a playoff preview. I thought this was going to be an under game. I thought they were going to show each other anything, no chances, just hit and be physical. Don't worry about scoring. Just beat the hell out of each other. Nope. Now you got to be careful.
This is a silly game before they play each other in the playoffs.
But it could be a game you send a message physically.
Hell no. There ain't nobody playing in this game that if they could dress all 20 guys different than they would play in the playoffs, they would. You have
Right.
to play this game because you're contractually obligated to wear the uniform and play.
Right, which is why the under could be in play as well.
There is no chance. This is, I mean, it could be, dump chase.
Yeah,
Let's get
right.
out of here.
Don't show
I think
anything. Yeah.
Right, but I think you might be playing some guys, and if the emergency goalie's playing,
Yeah. No. Now it's an over. Yeah. Stay
right?
away. This is a total stay away. Yeah. This is
You
This
can't
is
bet this game.
no. You can't. I was gonna bet the under, and I saw that report, and I went, nope, not betting that. I'm done with that. Jets in the Wild. All of a sudden, I mean, Minnesota stole one last night. They should never have won that game last night. They stole it, but Minnesota is 2 points behind Dallas and 2 points behind Colorado. They
Yeah.
could win the Central. The Jets can clinch a playoff berth with I think they just need 1 point. If they go to overtime and get 1 point, I think the Jets will clinch a playoff
They're
berth.
good.
But they need it because they have 93 points. Nashville has 90 points. Calgary's eliminated because they have lost the head-to-head. Seattle's already in with 100 points.
Right.
5.5 under. Want to go under?
This is going to be one of those like late empty netters or something,
That
or,
burns
or
you.
whatever. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is. I'm not crazy about this one. I like Minnesota. I like Minnesota sidewise.
Yeah, they're playing for more. But I mean, Jets can't lose out. I don't believe that they got to be careful. Nashville can win if they win out, and the Jets lose out. Nashville goes. Nashville has a game in hand. Oh no! Sorry, it's Calgary. Sorry, they both have 2 games left. Yeah. So if the Jets lose, see, this whole 1 point thing is always so screwed up. If they lose in regulation,
My head hurts watching you do the math
yeah.
in your
So
head.
okay, so Winnipeg's got 93 points, Nashville has 90. Nashville's maximum point total is 94. Winnipeg's maximum is 97. But if they go to overtime in both games, they will clinch. So they just need points. A win, 1 win, or 2 points.
Right.
And they're in. And the Jets clinch. So they could
focus on today, would you please?
This is today. They could
I
just
know.
play. They could play
Focus on
possum.
today's games.
They could just go ahead and have it be a 1-1 game, go to overtime, and they know that they're going to probably get in.
Right.
I don't know. I think this is an under game.
Mm.
I wouldn't bet it, but this is I like the under. All right, game of the day.
Winnipeg plays in Colorado on Thursday.
But it won't matter for the Avs most likely. It could, but most likely it won't. But if it does, then yeah. So that's why the Jets may want to win this game today and wrap it up. So like the Wild,
Winnipeg.
These games matter.
Linus just came in and said Winnipeg has the tiebreaker over Nashville. The Jets just need 1 point to clinch in the 2 games. So there you go. First period under.
Yeah.
Good luck with
gosh. Yeah, it's tough. They were in the machine. The Wild were the first period under machine all year long. And then the last half of the year, it all flipped.
Right.
It all flips. Avs, Oilers tonight.
Can't wait to watch.
Who wins?
Boy.
I have a play in the total, but
you do?
Mm-hmm.
Over, I hope.
Mm-mm.
You like under?
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins?
I have no idea.
It's
I have
tough
absolutely no idea. This is an unbelievable game. It's so
We're
fun.
going head to head with the Laker game. I wonder how many
I'll be
different
watching
people
hockey.
watch it. Yeah, I vote hockey.
I'll be watching hockey. I'll keep an eye on the Laker game, but I'll be watching this game.
For those of you still in the chat, again, thank you for being here. Are you watching at this time, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern? If you're up back east, you watching NBA or NHL? What do you think more people are going to put?
NBA because it's easier. I think it's easier.
I think more people in our chat are going to put NHL.
Maybe. I hope so, but I don't know. I mean, I think people will be watching the NBA because it's nationally televised. It's easier to get. Than it is.
No, the Edmonton, Colorado's on ESPN, is it not tonight?
ESPN or ESPN Plus? It's on ESPN.
Thought it was on ESPN.
Oh,
Tuesday Night Hockey, is it not?
That's really smart if they put it on. I thought Tuesday was baseball. No, or Tuesday hockey.
Tuesday's Maple Leafs Lightning, followed by Edmonton and Colorado.
Oh, okay. Two good games. Okay. Wow. ESPN, national televised. Okay, so it's up against. Yeah. All right. So I think
the other stuff's on TNT, I think, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So
it'll do well. Then that'll do well.
NHL. Santana came in with MLB, of course.
Okay.
NHL, NBA, NHL. Wow. All right. You know your audience, sir. Yeah, we got some more NHLs.
That's good.
NHL greater than NBA.
And then finally, we have Seattle at Vegas tonight. Last game of the night.
How about that? That's a hockey game, son. No?
It is.
That's a hockey game. You get
Money
the
line
Kraken off the back-to-back. I wore the Vegas hat earlier.
Vegas wins.
Pulled the Kraken hat out. I bought this before they were even a team.
Oh.
This thing is old.
Nice.
Had to pull it out because...
Yeah, Brossoit playing tonight. Jones is in net for, most likely, expected Jones in net for Seattle. It means more to Vegas than it does because they play at Seattle. This is the last home game of the year for Vegas.
Right.
At Seattle to end the year.
You ever go to the last home game for a team for the season, regular season home game?
Mm-hmm.
Fan appreciation night?
Depends on the team, but yeah, most often it is, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good...
That's why I think the Bruins are going to win tonight because people were saying that the Bruins aren't going to care about their game against Washington. I'm like, it's their last home game of the year. They won't care about the game against Montreal. That's the game they'll play. Nobody. Tonight, they'll play people tonight.
They're definitely playing people tonight.
Yeah, it's
a
chance.
Coronation send-off, somewhat celebration of a record-breaking regular season for them.
They can set the points record though in Montreal if they want to.
I don't know if they send one guy to Montreal to play.
I would agree with you. I think it's going to be a total
Stay home and put your feet up. We're getting ready for the first round against the Penguins.
Yep.
That's hopefully what they're going to be saying.
It's a Providence Bruins going to
right.
To
hey guys, you get to wear the uniforms and everything. Go up to Montreal and finish this thing out.
Brossoit's confirmed. Thank you, Addison. Appreciate that.
Excellent work. Thank you.
Yeah, I like Brossoit. I like Vegas tonight. Because Brossoit's got to play well because he's the last 2 games quick played really well. So he knows he's got to play well tonight and get a W. And then no one goes I mean, Vegas might not send anybody to Seattle. Might be the same thing. Vegas might be like, we're good.
Well, the win clinches it.
Vegas has 107 points. Edmonton has Yes, a win will make them have to go 109. I don't know what the tiebreaker is, though.
Oh, so
I gotta see what the tiebreaker is. If Vegas
yeah.
has a tiebreaker, then yes, tonight would clinch it. But 109 points is their the maximum Edmonton can get is 109 points. But if Vegas wins and Edmonton loses, yes, it clinches. That's a clinch.
Guys, if you're still here, please, before we get off of Sports Grid, just hit the like button on the YouTube channel if you can. I would really appreciate that. We got like, I don't know, almost 20 likes or something right now. I just glanced
Nice.
at it. If somebody can actually hit it, we had almost 100 last week on one of the shows because we asked. And again, the kids ask, we ask, you guys ask each other in the Discord, bvbshow.com. I don't know. They keep telling me it matters. I don't know if it fucking matters or
It
not,
does.
but we appreciate it. Okay.
Algorithm stuff populated into people's feeds. Yes.
All right.
They think, do you like it?
How's this game played to the total?
If it goes over, it's 5-2 Vegas. That's the only way it goes over. It could be 4-2 Vegas.
Right.
I don't mind Seattle on the puck line. Take the +1.5, plus goal and a half.
Right. Them playing last night in Arizona bother you at all in the handicap?
It doesn't bother me. It helps my Vegas assumption. It helps my Vegas bet.
Okay.
I like Vegas to win for that reason.
Okay.
Vegas, and again, Brossois playing, Vegas at home, last home game of the year. Lot going into this for Vegas. This is a game Vegas needs to win. Edmonton's charging.
Under. That's the only way I see this.
Okay. It's possible. I looked at it last night, and let's see. So far this year, 4-2, 5-2.
Right. It's right on the number. I mean, it's sometimes again, it's a good number. I don't think there's no edge either way, side or total here at all.
Oh, I think an edge for side. I don't think there's an edge for a total, but I think there's an edge for a side. Okay, let's talk some baseball. What are we calling the celebration in Baltimore? We have
I
two
don't
options.
like it at all.
We have two options. We have the Homer hose or the dong bong. What are we
I
calling
vote
this?
number one.
Is this the Homer hose
I
or is
vote
this the
number one.
dong bong?
Yeah.
You don't like this?
No, this is softball.
This is, what do you mean it's softball? For baseball players, you can't celebrate this with drinking water through a hose like this?
No, this is a softball celebration to me. This is too much. This is too close to beer league softball to me. I mean, it's listen, I'm all for celebrating and having fun and making the game like that. I'm good with it. But at the same time,
This is a
much,
dong bong. This is so fun. By the way, if you don't know, a ding dong, home run, dong. Okay. There's a show used to do a thing called a dong report. Like we're not referencing that part. It's a home run reference. It just happens to have a double entendre to go ahead and have it be a dong bong. I don't call these things bongs though. My anger with this has more to do with the fact that I don't like a funnel being called a bong. It's not. It's a funnel.
Wait a second. What the hell did they call this when you went to college? This was a beer bong.
See, this is not what we call that. That's a Midwestern thing. That is not what we call it.
It's not a fucking Midwestern thing. It's called a beer bong.
A bong is a bong. A bong is a device you smoke out of. This is not a bong. This is something you drink out of. This is a funnel. This is a funnel on the top, and you pour the beer in, and you funnel. This is a beer funnel. This is not a bong.
That is called a beer bong.
Sure, it's wrong.
In the majority of the college campuses,
maybe so.
The country,
it's all wrong. It's not.
It's not wrong if more people do it.
So college kids get to dictate what the world calls something. No, it's not. It's a funnel. It's not a bong. That's my problem with this. I love the dong bong. For those of you
that have either been to a college party or went to college, put it in the fucking chat right now. I know it's called a funnel, and some people might call it a funnel.
But it's a funnel. You're going to funnel a beer.
So when you were at all of these tailgates in Alabama and all these road games and stuff, people did this in the parking lots, right?
Correct. And I would say,
what did they say down there? Let's do a funnel.
Well, it depends on the person, but like some people don't call it a bong at all. Like beer bong is a very specific term that people will use. Not everyone calls it a beer bong either. It's funneling. It's the
Beer bong.
you smoke a bong, you funnel a beer, you drink water from a bubbler. Chef Benny, bravo! That's my boy.
Chef Benny's a New England guy.
Oh, of
This
course
a
he
New
is. That's
England
my
thing.
boy. That is my boy.
Beer
Thank you very
bong,
much.
Beer bong,
You're
bong.
100% right. Chef Benny is 100% right. Yep. You smoke a bong, funnel a beer, drink water from a bubbler. Amen.
A bubbler? What the F is a bubbler? Snap your fingers. Snap your fingers. You're frozen. You're frozen.
Okay, hold on. We'll come back in a second,
Come
I
back.
guess.
All right.
There we go. It's so good when it hits your lips. That's a great, it's a very good scene. It's a great
What is a
scene.
bubbler?
Water fountain.
A fountain or
water-
a hose?
A water fountain is called a bubbler.
A
Blub-
bubbler?
Like you, blub, blub, blub. It's a bubbler. Yes, that's what it is.
Like a fountain in school when you go to
Correct.
get a drink from a water fountain.
Correct. It's called a water bubbler.
A
Yes.
bubbler?
Yes.
Who in the hell calls it a bubbler?
We do.
It's a water fountain.
That too. Or it's a water bubbler.
I don't know. A lot of people are saying in the chat it's a beer bong.
That's
Just saying.
fine. It's just not where we're from. That's what we call it. So I have a bigger problem with that. Like I just, you know,
Bubbler. Whitrock said, "What is this bubbler you speak of?"
of. Yeah. Yeah. And there's a bubbler that has water. There's also a bubbler that's a glass pipe that you smoke out of. That's a bubbler as well. That's also a bubbler.
What in the hell went on up there with you in New England? What?
Just tell you what we do. That's how we roll it. You know, it's a bubbler in Australia. All right. Here we go.
Sea bass is in Australia? I didn't know that.
I didn't
Bubbler in
either.
Australia.
Okay. Thank you, Perrault. Matt's right on this one. Thank you.
A funnel? He went to Miami. I mean, I don't even know if they had tailgates down in Miami. Perrault. Matt's right on this one.
Just
look
saying.
at the chat. A lot of
water
people say
bongs are
bongs,
awesome.
beer bongs.
Landon's right. Water bongs are awesome. It's just a matter of you want to do the gravity portion of it as well. But like a water gravity bong is really fun. Like we'll get real intricate if you want, but that's fun.
I don't even know what that is. A water what?
A water bong, but an anti-gravity water bong is also very fun to do as well.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yes, it's smart. Barstool is sending dong bong t-shirts. How could you not sell a dong bong t-shirt? That's their demographic, and that's 100% what I'd be selling as well. Yes, push the holy hell out of that.
Okay.
I love the celebration. I love the idea, and I love the fact that the old timers are freaking the fuck out over this. They are not happy about this celebration at all. This might get canceled. To be honest, this might not be allowed. Major League Baseball might come in and say, guys, you can't do that. You're, highlighting irresponsible behavior. They're drinking water
really fast from a funnel.
They're drinking water. Well, they're
drinking water really fast from a funnel. What are they? Oh,
because they're not mimicking. They're mimicking where it would be alcohol. Everyone knows what they're doing.
I mean, the Blue Jays put on a big sport coat. The
totally
Angels
different.
put on a big, warrior helmet for
totally different. It's like if your celebration was to syndicate doing lines of Coke, would that be allowed? If the Miami Marlins went ahead and took they're syndicated, they took dust from white chalk from the foul line, and their syndicating was to go ahead and do a rail on the rail of the dugout. Would that be allowed? Would they be like, yep, that's fine, go ahead?
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no. So I could see them coming in and saying, we don't really want to talk about binge drinking, guys. We don't want to highlight that. We're gonna try to avoid that. I think it's awesome. It makes me like the Orioles even more. I like the Orioles a lot. They got a fun.
They got to go over 500.
I know, but they have a fun team. I watched their game last night against the A's.
It's fun.
They're a fun team. They got arms upon arms on arms coming out of that bullpen. They throw gas out of that pen. They're a fun team. I like the Orioles a lot. The Rays are 10-0 on the year. We told you yesterday, why were the Red Sox getting bet? It didn't make any sense. What are you doing?
The game was 0-0 into the eighth.
but they lost 1-0. So it was, congratulations. That's a participation trophy bet. Hey, it was 0-0 until the 8th inning. Congratulations. You were alive till the 8th until you weren't, and you lost.
They're going to bet
Solo
him
shot
again
1-0.
today.
I don't mind the bet today, to be honest with you. But yesterday, Cutter Crawford, betting on him was moronic.
It was Pavetta yesterday.
I thought it was Crawford yesterday.
It was
Crawford during the show. Did they switch that out?
No. Let me see. Make sure. Yesterday's starter was Pavetta against Beeks.
And who's today?
McClanahan for Tampa and Whitlock.
Yeah, that's right. They called him up. That's right. He's healthy now. He was really good for the Red Sox last year.
165, 170, 180 in places.
So the Rays are the 9th team in Major League Baseball history to start 10-0. The first since the 87 Brewers went 13-0. Before that, it was the 82 Braves and the 81 A's, 13-0 and 11-0, respectively. So the Rays have a plus 58 run differential. That's the 5th highest by a team in the first 10 games of a Major League Baseball season. Each of the 4 teams ahead of them on the list played before 1893. You hear me?
They could really hit balls back then, I guess.
1893, when the mound moved to its current distance. The 1884 Maroons, the 1884 Gothams, the 1876 Hartfords of Brooklyn. What in the holy hell is a Hartfords of Brooklyn? And the 1882 Providence Grays. Those are the teams with a plus differential 59 or greater in the first 10 games.
I like those old names. Gothams.
What's the Hartfords of Brooklyn? I want a hat. Find me a Hartfords of Brooklyn hat. They've hit 25 home runs, including the one that gave them the win last night. That's tied with the 2006 Tigers for the second most in a team's first 10 games of the season, behind only the 2000 Cardinals, who hit 28. I mean, this is really amazing. And now we get to the real insane one. The Rays have shut out their opponent in 3 straight games. That's the longest streak in Tampa Bay history. They're the first team with 3 straight shutouts in a single season since the Cleveland Indians did it back in 2017. Ooh. No team has posted a 4-game streak for shutouts since the championship Giants season of 2012. And they have McClanahan going today with a decent shot of shutting out the Red Sox again.
Yeah, they won't shut the Red Sox out tonight. I don't think so.
They've won 11-0, 11-0, 1-0. Last 3 games.
It's a hell of a run.
It's psychotic what they're doing.
Oh,
under.
I mean, listen, there's people that are coming in. After they won 6, they had Oakland, and the people that were betting them Oakland. They came back with the Red Sox today. You're down 4. Excuse me.
On the money line.
I mean, and if you do that thing where you double it up and double it up and double it up, you're looking at a serious number right now.
Yep.
I don't like doing that. Never did. Good luck. Excuse me. You got under ? You like under?
With McClanahan on the mound, how do you not?
They could score 8 runs themselves.
They could, but I like Whitlock. I liked them a lot last year. First start of the year, though.
A lot of Wander Franco love.
Should be.
Bases over.
God.
Tampa's really good. It's April 11th. Yeah, Tampa was going to be good before the season. They're good now. I don't know. Does this mean they're winning the division?
No, but the Rays were the first team to win at least 9 straight to start a year by at least 4 runs at any point in the season since the 1939 Yankees did it in 10 straight. Overall, it's the 8th time this streak has happened in Major League Baseball history. Like, they're not just winning games 2-1, 3-1. They're killing teams. Like, they're just blowing them out.
This is going to be a great debate. We're gonna see I mean, it's already happening right now in our chat. Guys are going back and forth that Tampa's winning the World Series this year, and someone else is coming in and saying Tampa's not winning a playoff series this year. They didn't win a playoff series last year.
Right.
Couple really good games against Cleveland. Really good games. Didn't win. Baseball season success is so different than postseason success. It's so I mean, it can be the same. It's hard to maintain the playoff type success over the course of a regular season.
Right.
And it's really hard to mimic what makes it so good in a regular season in a short 3-game series. You run into
amazing.
2 pitchers that are lights
Really
out,
good.
you're done. Night,
Right.
night. It's
Goodbye.
over.
Thank you
So,
for coming.
yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Houston against your Pirates tonight. Javier against Keller. Total is 8. You talk into the over?
Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, they hit the shit out of the ball last night. I was watching it. But early runs meant the total went way up. And we got out of a couple innings with double plays, but I was on with Gabe and Cam, and I in game 12.5, 11.5, and 10.5, and it finished 8-2. I had a really good night last night.
I mean, under? A bit under?
Yeah, I bet under.
Nice.
So, I don't know what took Shelton so long to go out and get Rosie off the mound. He left him in to give up 7 runs. Sometimes you got to go take one for the team as the starter, but I was like, he don't have it. Can you get him out? And he left him in, and it was 7-2 when he went out. And I was like, wow, we're dead. I was hoping to just get the under 12.5 at that point and got under them all. Yeah. At first glance, I didn't do the work yet, but at first glance, I like over. Yes.
The Alcantara start from yesterday was stunning.
Boom. Bang.
9 runs. They left him in there to give up 9 runs.
Yeah. Well, one of them was a grand slam, right? I think one of them gave up a grand slam.
15-3 loss to the Phillies. And you have Nola back on the mound tonight for the Phillies, only minus 148.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Phillies today to win this game, no?
Luzardo's really good.
He is. He needs to be really good for my bet to go over. Luzardo's kind of the key to the whole pitching staff to me.
Yeah. Got to see what the Phillies are going to do against lefties with the lineup the way it is right now. That's I don't know if I'd be in a hurry to lay this one with the Phillies. I might actually look to take with the Marlins after yesterday. I don't know. Sometimes those weird trends, like you put up all those runs, and then the next day you go a lot of offers and a lot of, bloops that fell in yesterday don't fall in, and the game goes under. The dog wins. So I'd be cautious on just laying it with Philly automatic.
Are you buying the Kyle Freeland resurgence? He's 2-0 with an ERA of 0.
And he's plus a nice price today.
0. Has not given up a run yet in 2 starts. Rockies against the Cardinals.
It's a head scratcher. I mean, this is going to happen frequently throughout the season. Wow. Someone named Little Rel Howery's on ESPN right now. Comedian.
Okay.
He's wearing all my gear. He's wearing all the Bulls stuff. Keep telling me I got to wear a suit, and these guys on there doing it with the gear. Oh, it's aggravating. Anyhow, sorry I got distracted. I just looked over there. Yes, I'm buying. Oh, are you not buying Freeland?
I mean, I can't. I bet against him twice. I'm not betting on him right now, but I'm not betting against him. No way. Not this time. I bet him on the road and at home. Hasn't mattered. He's been lights out in both places.
I am not laying the runs. I'm not laying the money line on this. It's just take or pass.
I would agree. The Dodgers win on the run line again last night. That's now 6 wins on the year for the Dodgers, 6 wins on the run line.
Yes.
Big win. They hammered San Francisco last night.
Yes.
Same 2 teams today. The Giants equally have not won a game yet unless it's on the run line. Normally that's them laying 1.5 runs. They're catching 1.5 runs today.
They were yesterday too.
And it's only minus 125.
Yeah. Give me Dustin May. I love good pitching. I mean, I love good hitting and I love baseball, but I
Right.
love good pitching. Dustin May has this ball that just does something that is not
Dies.
really teachable.
Right.
It's I want that guy. And I only have to lay one. What's the run line? 120?
Uh-huh.
I gotta lay 120. That's it. I think I'm good with that.
It's even money to lay 1.5 with the Dodgers.
It is even money right now. Yeah.
So you want even money to the Dodgers.
Boy,
even
they've
money.
done some amazing stuff with this. At some books, like you can lay 25 on one side and you get even money on the other. The gaps are widening every day. Jeez, it's just like the construction on the 15 by the freeway by the strip. It's just insanity. What's going on? Do better to book it. Is that it? We got
No, one more. One more quick one. So we talked about the volatility in the football NFL draft market.
Yeah.
Remember when the Panthers got the first pick and
Yeah.
all the money went and everyone thought that it was going to be CJ Stroud?
Yeah, no, that was
Well,
all
that's
fake.
completely and totally flipped. And now it's minus 250 on Bryce Young.
Yeah, guess who's
Minus
going first?
250. It's $3 at DraftKings.
Yeah, guess who's going first?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
I mean, that was crazy. That was a wild,
Yeah.
either a nasty head fake so people could get Bryce Young money or something.
Plus
But
money,
that,
yeah.
woo,
Yeah.
that was crazy. That number, that roller coaster ride, like watching the odd screen on his going first is something else. And it's just going up now because it's $3 and we're still a ways away from the draft. We're still a decent enough time away from the draft that it could change.
If this moves again,
It could. Yeah.
well, I mean, as long as Carolina holds the pick now, which I think they will.
Sounds.
And again,
most
I
likely, yeah.
hate. Let's say it again with a capital H. Talking about the draft
Yep.
and talking about betting on the draft. Two of my big passions of stuff that I have zero interest in.
Right.
I like watching stories about the draft and kids and how hard they've worked and what they had to
Right.
do to get the draft day. I could give a shit less about betting on it because I had to book it and it was one of the worst things I've ever done. Working in a book, at the counter, in a risk room, ever. So just let's put that out there first. So as we get closer to the draft, we can talk about the line movements and all this other stuff briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'm going to put the glasses on and let you go on one of your soliloquies about
No.
the NFL draft.
There's
There's enough shows doing it. I'd rather focus on the fucking games.
I agree. I'm just pointing it out because the line movement's been ridiculous. That's why I'm bringing it up because he's minus 2. He's going first. He was going second. Now he's going first. And by the way, my prediction of the top 4 picks all being quarterbacks is still very much viable. That can happen still.
Does it have to stay the same order?
No, just I said the top 4 picks could be quarterbacks. And you said, what are the odds on that? I said, I don't know, but I believe the top 4 picks could be quarterback. Once we get to the draft.
Wow.
Could very much happen. It's, I thought it 2 months ago, I thought it could happen. I still think it could. And all we've seen is Anthony Richardson hype and Will Levis hype. And all these guys are getting, people are saying, either Levis or Richardson go first. So they could go 3rd or 4th easy. All right, time for Better to Book It. 2 money line hockey parlays for you.
Let's go.
New Jersey, Pittsburgh, money line parlay, minus 119. Obviously, it's going to change dramatically now because of the odds on Pittsburgh, but I got minus 119 last night.
This better win. This better damn win.
Devils, I'm not worried about Pittsburgh.
If this doesn't win.
I'm not worried about it. It's more about New Jersey than I am about Pittsburgh. Penguins are winning the game tonight. That's ridiculous. And then the second one is Vegas and Boston, plus 129 parlay. Now Boston's going to win, and then I'm going to play off this because I'm going to have plus 129 on Vegas on the money line, which is much better than what it is right now, obviously. And then hope that Vegas scores and
Man,
then
that
go
Seattle
1-0 and then take Seattle at plus 170 and kick my heels up and watch the rest of the game and not care who wins.
Wow, Seabass said the Penguins aren't winning. God,
Come on now. They're not losing to the Blackhawks. No,
wrong.
no. Sidney Crosby's not losing to the Blackhawks with the season on the line.
On a must-win at home.
Not happening. Not happening. Should be a 5-1. Bet the puck line for the Penguins if you want. They should ruin them tonight.
I'll say to bet this one too, but I'm cautious with the Vegas one. I like what you're thinking there with
Yeah, no, I mean I just need the Bruins to win.
yeah.
Bruins win, then I'm going to play off of it, and I should be okay. But it's a Bruins,
right.
you know, it's a Vegas Seattle playoff. But I think the Bruins are going to win tonight. All right,
Yeah.
so we can skip Toronto and Tampa because I'm not betting that thing on the under. Would you bet over 6.5 on that?
Man, I don't know what the hell I would bet on that. You told me the emergency goalie's playing.
Yeah,
You know, the
Toronto.
emergency goalie don't ever play.
Never. Never.
So I'd be like saying, "Hey, Perrault,
You're right. Go play.
Thanks for being on the roster. Guess what? You're playing tonight." Well, what do
Yeah.
you mean? Well, we ain't really playing the game. We don't want to get anybody hurt. We don't want our guy to go in there. So good luck. Here you go.
Here you go. So yeah, bet the over most likely.
Ain't
Team
nobody
total.
blocking those shots. Ain't
No.
nobody hitting nobody tonight.
Team total Tampa may be a good bet, by the way. That's 3.5.
Team total Tampa over.
3.5.
Yeah.
I don't mind that bet. Okay. Under 6.5. Colorado Edmonton at minus 115.
I'm booking this one.
Okay.
I think this goes over.
Skinner has a 2.87 goals against average on the road.
Yep. He's been so good.
Georgiev has a 2.44 goals against average at home. This is a playoff game. This is a game of physicality. This is a game of superiority because if they play each other, this is a message sending game. 3-1, 3-2 final.
Just not fair if these two teams have to play in the first round.
I don't think they're going to wind up playing the first round.
I hope not.
Yeah. I mean, if you to avoid that from happening, no, they can't play in the first round. That's impossible. They can't play.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah, they can't play because Colorado will play either Dallas, Minnesota, or Seattle. That's set. In Vegas would play Edmonton, the Kings, or Winnipeg. These guys can't play to the Western Conference Finals.
Western Conference Final. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So this is the Western Conference Final preview, which is why I think you get the effort tonight, and they both need it for that matter. I mean, they both are playing for something on top of their playing, sending a message to each other.
Right. Okay.
Who wins? I don't know. That's tough as to who wins.
I don't know. My initial thought before the game starts is Edmonton, but
Okay,
we'll see. This is grow up time. This is grown up hockey.
Well,
tonight.
can Skinner? That's why I like the under because I need Skinner, and I'm believing in Skinner. He needs to play 2 goals or less. Like this can't be 3-4 goals given up. He one game so far gave up 3 goals.
Brommelkamp, welcome, sir. Thanks for being here. He just came in the chat and said the Leafs just called up a goalie from the AHL. His
Yes.
name's Joseph Wolf.
So they
How
have
about that?
they have their 3rd string emergency goaltender, and they're probably going to start the kid, the AHL kid, and have the 3rd string have the emergency goaltender be the backup for the night.
I don't know how you bet this game.
No way.
Good luck.
And then finally, Timberwolves at plus 8.5 against the Lakers.
Wow.
I want 9. I'm waiting for 9, but if I don't get 9, I'll bet 8.5.
Wow. Man, oh man.
Too high.
It is too high. I'm with you. I think we got to take 8.5, but I'd be better with 9. Get us on a whole number.
Okay.
You know how I feel about these games, especially over 7. I don't want to lay the favorite, not in this spot.
You're right.
So
We got to say bye to Sports Grid, don't we?
did we make it?
I think we made it, right? I think we should.
Sure, are we good with the time? What do you think? Should we say goodbye now?
Yeah,
Say
goodbye.
bye-bye.
Okay. Sports Grid,
Bye-bye.
thank you so much. We'll see you guys coming up tomorrow. For you guys who are live on YouTube and Twitter, stick around. Time for BVB bonus time. Favorite thing about today is the only part of BVB bonus time.
BVB bonus time. Favorite thing about today. So getting to know some of the brigade members
Mm.
has been, I'd say, one of the most rewarding things that we have done in creating this show, continuing to show up and do the show. Basically, continuing to talk about sponsorship and people paying us to do the show or advertise whatever product they have on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And today was a reminder that everybody's going through something. And, not just people that watch the show or that are brigade members and stuff, but especially those guys or girls who are in the chat and you guys know in the Discord and stuff. And, not going to name names, but I saw one of our brigaders is going to see his son get married. And he talked about
Stevie
that.
Mac. Yeah.
Stevie Mac, capital
Yeah.
M, capital K. So shout out to him
Heck yeah.
and congratulations to his
Mm.
son. And to being a dad of a kid who's getting married, because that's going to be one of those things that hopefully you and I are both going to get to experience someday. That's just different. And, to some others who, I don't know what the word is, man. I don't know if it's struggling. I don't know if it's having a bad day. I don't know what it is, but just know that there's someone out there that you can reach out to. And I appreciate that people take the time to come here and hang with us and, watch the show. I don't give a shit if you bet or not. I
Mm.
don't care if you
Mm.
like our picks or not.
Mm.
I don't. I'm glad you take the time to come here and tell us what you think.
Mm.
We interact in the chat. We're gonna do shows in different cities. Somehow, one way or the other, somebody's gonna go, you know what? What these guys are doing are good. Yeah, you guys get the traveling budget. We'll take the show on the road. We'll come to different states. We're gonna meet a bunch of you at some point. Hopefully, at some point, we're gonna have a get together in Vegas, talking about a golf outing and all this other stuff,
Mm.
where you're gonna actually spend money and come with us or meet us at a place. And we're gonna talk and hang out. I feel privileged and I feel lucky that people do this with us
Mm.
and share their time with us.
Mm.
I'm thankful that you and I get to talk like grown-ups most of the time. I don't know about, the dong bong and different things like that. I mean, but that's sports and that's fun. And that's
Uh-huh.
why we're here,
Right.
because we got enough shit going on everywhere else. So thank you for being here. Thank you for staying for the BVB bonus time and staying
Mm.
for the whole show. If you need an outlet, reach out
Mm.
to the Discord, to each other, to us, and hopefully we'll find you, someone to listen or talk to or whatever. But man, everybody's going through something. That's just another reminder this morning. I was like, "Oh man, good luck."
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of pain. I would say it's pain, but I think there's a lot of people because we don't know what the last 3 years were like. We had so much turmoil from 2020 and everything that happened that like the dust is just settling like now, and people are still dealing with the wounds, either physically or emotional wounds that they suffered with what happened during that period. And for a lot of us, including myself, major life changes happened in the wake of it. And you have to kind of like look around a little bit and kind of check yourself a little bit and go, all right, this is different. And what am I going to do for the rest of my life? And how am I going to focus my energy? Where am I going? What am I trying to accomplish? I'm a goal oriented person. I always have been. I need to set things to chase. I'm the rabbit. You set up, put the carrot out there. I'm going to chase it. And I think for a lot of people, they run into a wall, and when they don't see a way out, that's when really bad things happen. And I mean, even Michael Irvin talked about it, during the court case that was going on from the Super Bowl. And I remember it was crazy because I was talking to a member from, I'll let him be nameless, but I was talking to a on-air personality from the NFL Network, asking him to come on the show. And he said, I don't know if I can. And I was like, why? And he's like, because of what happened this morning with Michael Irvin. It's like, what the hell happened with Michael Irvin? He goes, Google it. I'm not going to tell you. And then I went and Googled it, and I was like, holy crap, what is going on? And they sent him home from the Super Bowl. And Michael Irvin said, he was in a really dark place afterwards. Now he since is coming out of that, but there's a lot of people going through a lot of stuff, a lot of personal trial, trial and tribulations. And, I think people don't often know how to ask for help and just it's kind of like throw up the white flag. I know I struggle with it to sit there and like, when do you raise your hand and say, okay, help? Like I'm not doing good. Like something's, I think we all as men have that feeling of like, I can get through anything until we can't. So yeah, my DMs are open and you guys know how to get in touch with us. And
Yep.
the show is, you sent the text this morning, we always got to keep in mind that this is more than a betting show. This is not just about betting. We talk about betting, but we want to be more than just picks and plays and, minus 110. We want to be more than that.
It's hard to explain that.
Yeah.
It's getting harder
until you see it. Until you see it. When you see it,
you
get
see it.
Yeah. Then you're like, oh.
And then, yeah.
When you see it, you're like, oh, now I understand what you're talking about. So yeah,
Right.
it's much different.
Yeah.
Hit the like, subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at Boston versus the book, bvbshow.com for the Discord channel. Great games tonight. I'll be in there watching hockey with you guys coming up tonight. Looking forward to seeing all you guys later. Big hockey games tonight and some basketball as well. Farra, Dave, Matt, we're back tomorrow for a Wednesday's BVB.